How's it going, everybody? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And today I am talking to Magnetic Press's own Mike Kennedy. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Just super busy as usual, but that's never a bad thing.
Yeah, I see a lot of things coming from you guys all the time, which is awesome. And we are here to talk about, well, I guess you are here to talk about, I'm here to listen, but to talk about the latest Kickstarter project that you all have been working on. This one has me excited. This one looks really cool because I'm a fan of both the concept and the creators behind this. And that is SHIN ZERO, the graphic novel for the Rent-a-Sentai Generation.
Right.
So, yeah, how did this project come about, and is it an original project? And I'm going to go ahead and add Chris. Welcome to the party, pal. Man, he just got up and left. He ain't got time.
I had to turn on the light. Sorry.
You're good, man. You're good.
Long time, man. Nice to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Yep.
Good to see you. You just came in right on time. I was about to ask about the project, how it all came about.
Okay.
With SHIN ZERO. How long has it been? How long have you all been working on this?
Well, I've known the guys at Label 619 for almost a decade, and we've already published a bunch of books by Matthew Babelet and Guillaume Sagelet. So like Frontier, Carbonated Silicon, Shangri-La, Drostia, Midnight Order. So we were already fans of their work, and about, I don't know, I guess it was 2 years ago when I went to Angoulême to go look at more stuff. They let me in on a little secret that they were working on something together. Of course, I was immediately intrigued, and I didn't even know what it was until last year. And I'm like, yeah, it's, kind of Power Rangers-ish kind of kaiju Sentai. And I'm like, all right, I'm already on board. So I knew it was coming, but I think they just released it like in January. I think it just came out in France. So we're pretty close to getting it out on time here in English. But they're hard at work at volume 2. So
there's a follow-up already.
Yeah, I think they have plans for it to be a trilogy, although each single volume is standalone. So you don't have to read them all, but it's like Star Wars. It's like it's self-contained, but there are enough, little plot hooks where the sequel will definitely pick up on it. And that'll be self-contained too, but altogether they'll make a nice trilogy.
I'm going to put the link to the Kickstarter in the chat right now, and it is in the description of the video in case you're watching this later. This is a really cool project because so I know both of these gentlemen's work, and at least with Matthew, I could tell that there's a lot of like anime and Japanese lore inspiration in his art style and even in his panels, and this kind of like solidifies it because you'd have to know a little bit of lore about what Sentai is, although we have called it here in America as Power Rangers since the 1992, I think.
Xerox machine is actually a brand. Kleenex is actually a brand.
Right. Power Rangers.
Yeah.
You're right. Absolutely, man. It's true. So it's really cool to see both of them working on something like this. Yeah. Now, I assume both of you knew what Sentai was before even going. You're well-cultured men. I kind of figured that. But what about people that don't know? What is Sentai? Who wants to describe what Sentai is? Chris.
No. I'm gonna give this.
You made a move, man.
I know. I almost started to. Yeah. I'm gonna point at Mike.
Okay.
Well, Sentai. There's a whole category, a whole genre of tokusatsu, I think it's called, which is like basically Japanese for special effects. So it was like all of those, Godzilla movies and the Ultraman movies. The guys in a rubber suit and with little miniature buildings that they step all over, like that kind of built this whole genre of kind of kaiju and Sentai heroism and stuff. So this is definitely a nod to that. I think there's even a section in the back of the book that talks about Takutatsu. And what that movement meant. But yeah, I mean, for today's generation, they probably only know Power Rangers. Maybe they know Ultraman. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows Kaiju and Godzilla and Pacific Rim and stuff. But this is kind of taking it for a new generation. It's like, the cast of characters, they're really, today's generation of, wanting to get a job and not sure what we want to do. I mean, they're very much college kids trying to figure out.
They feel very Gen Z, like the characters.
The characters?
Yeah, they feel like they're in their like mid-20s, or like they just got out of college and they're looking for work. That's the feel of it. That's how I feel. And like I when I was growing up, my experience, just throw it in, is like I'm 40 and Mitch is right around there or there already. And we grew up seeing Power Rangers first, for sure. We were, we had our Pokemon on our Game Boy watching Power Rangers. So I watched so much Power Rangers. It's like ridiculous how much I watched. So I was happy to see this project come through for that reason.
I have so I'm a little older. So Power Rangers was coming out the first season when I was in high school, but my brothers would watch it. But I'm also a fan of giant robots, and I'm just addicted to them. And when those toys, man, that first season of like the Dragon Zord and the Megazord, you could not find those things during Christmas time. Yeah. And so I've always been curious about the lore. And then, the older I got, the more I found out how, my gosh, just the ties that it had to so many things, including Spider-Man. Because I think there is now a whole generation of people finding out that, I don't know if there's a Power Rangers show on now. There's definitely comics, but like even Spider-Man, like Spider-Verse, which featured Leopardon, which was the Japanese robot, right, from the Spider-Man series over there. And that was because Stan Lee was really interested in bringing those characters over here.
Yeah,
like that whole history, it's amazing.
It's really, it's Japanese answer to, the tights and capes heroes of America. I mean, but all seeped in Japanese history and culture and lore. I mean, Power Rangers were not the first. I mean, there was a whole bunch of Bioman and Jetman and stuff way long before that. But Power Rangers were the most popular, especially once they made it to America. Then it just took off.
Yeah, it definitely took off, and it's really cool to see it continue, though, and how it has inspired people around the world in creating their own products. And it's really cool to see now that become nostalgic for people like Chris and Mitch, like that era, right? Like they grew up watching, and now there's things like comic books and this project. So what is with the subtitle? What's with the Rent-a-Sentai?
So the plot around this particular universe. So I mean, it's not the Power Rangers universe. It's it's a similar one where you got costumed heroes running around Tokyo. But in this, the last kaiju was defeated 20 years earlier, and so they're this is a young college age set of kids who they're following in the footsteps and they want to be heroes, but there's no giant monsters or worlds to save. So the whole Rent-a-Sentai thing came in, where basically there's an app, and there's actually competing apps like Uber versus Lyft, where you can just sign up on the app and hey, this store needs security, so I'm going to put on my costume and I'm going to be a rent-a-cop for a while. Or hey, there's a fight at this bar, so I'm going to go break up a bar fight. It's rental gigs. It's superheroes, on call, I guess.
Superheroes on calls, which honestly, if you think about it, that kind of would be the future of where these characters or characters like this would be going.
Yeah. I play a lot of video games, and I've been, playing all the Spider-Man games, and even in Spider-Man, they had that app where you could just get an alert. Hey, there's a gang fight over here, and you swing over there and beat them up, and then there's always something to do on the app.
Now, you said this project has already been released in France.
Yes.
Now, in the Kickstarter here, it looks like you guys kicked it off, just recently.
Yeah, 2 days ago, Tuesday. Yep.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's got 21 days to go.
Yeah.
So congratulations, you've met your goal, but it's always nice to have more. It helps out. Is there a so I have to ask because I have retailers that watch shows like this and people that watch this asking if they can order it from the retailers. Is there a retailer bundle or is there a retailer option?
There are 3 hidden retailer tiers. So, I mean, any retailer wants to pledge. We've got 3 retailer only tiers. So there's the paperback version.
Mm-hmm.
There's a campaign exclusive hardcover edition, and then a super exclusive limited slipcase edition with a book plate and all that stuff. Yeah,
that looks awesome.
So there are 3 different tiers that we do have retailer versions of those tiers. We just don't have them on the page to distract from the regular consumers. But I mean, those links are available. If anybody wants to, I'll give you those links to post on here. But yeah, we definitely want to support retail. It's gotten really confusing with everything that's going on with Diamond, and we're in the process of moving over to Simon & Schuster on Lunar. But that's there's going to be a 2 or 3 month lag there. So if retailers want to order from us directly in the meantime, we are definitely available.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to ask how things are going for you all with the whole Diamond situation, because it seems like everybody else has been looking, and like you said, there's a waiting period for different distributors, and depending on who you talk to, who you can try to, it's not as easy as people think it is sometimes. Like going and like, oh yeah, just take your crap out of Diamond and move it over to Lunar.
Yeah, we're still working on part 1. Yeah, right. We're trying to get our stuff back from Diamond. So that's a legal nightmare. But yeah, so last year. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the structure of so Magnetic is owned by a company called Polarity. Polarity also owns a company called Oni Press, which I'm sure you've heard of. They've been around.
Yeah, I work with those guys. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so midway last year, we started talking directly with Oni about how we can start working closer together and supporting each other. And the first thing that came to mind was distribution, because they were already with Lunar at Simon & Schuster. So they were not, I mean, they still had books at Diamond, but they were not tied to Diamond the way that Magnetic was. So we were already starting to unthread ourselves from Diamond last year. But then the chapter 11 came around right when we were making that move. So it did complicate things a little bit, but we were already on our way to Simon. So that should start in September, actually. It's going to take some time for us to get our entire backlist to Simon & Schuster.
Oh, yeah.
But all of that backlist stuff. Yeah. All of that backlist stuff, if retailers want to order from us directly, we will give you that 50% wholesale directly. No problem.
Okay. Tell me about the 3 different versions here. Like, what's the dimensions on them? The kind of, because man, you guys went full detailed on this. I love seeing the kind of paper stock you're using.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about each version and how much each one is.
You'd think that the paperback would probably be manga size, but I don't know. We just kind of found that unless it's a book that actually reads from back to front and it's actual manga from Japan, like our Tezuka.
Yeah.
We're printing these things a little bit larger at like 6x9 or 6.5 by 9, whatever fits the content appropriately. So it's still a 6x9 paperback, but it's a lot more elevated production value. It's got French flaps, and we'll have foil on the cover, and
How many pages is that volume?
I think it's 216, something like that.
216. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a pretty good sized book, and the paperback will go for I think it's $20 at retail. but then the hardcover and the slipcase are exclusive to the campaign, so those won't be at retail.
Okay.
It's the same 216-page interior, same 6x9 trim, but the hardcover, Magnetics books will have that nice curved corner and all that stuff. And all the spot UV and the textures and all that. So same foil logo and everything. And then the slipcase is just taking that same book, but putting it in this really nice slipcase that'll have, we're calling it kaiju skin textured, but it's got a nice kind of dinosaur texture to it and silver foil logo and everything.
I'm a sucker for those. That's really cool. The slipcase is really cool. The dimensions, are they going to stay the same regardless of what version you get, or is the hardcover bigger?
Yeah, the soft cover and the hardcover will be the same size, just to keep things consistent on a shelf. Like if we know that some collectors, if like books in a series change size, that annoys some people.
Omar, you like it nice and flat across the top, right?
Exactly. Yes,
I do, but not all publishers like playing that game.
Well, we're really considerate, so
Well, I appreciate it. It's a bit of a first world problem struggle, man. Like consistency with spines and formats, and
we're really working on. Actually, we've done it. I think we've done it twice now, but neither of them have come out. We did a campaign for a book called Ogrist, which is also kind of a 6x9 set of 5 volumes. So on a shelf, they'll all line up, and we did this thing where there's a picture on the bottom, but you have to get all 5 to see the whole picture.
The connecting spines. I love those.
Yeah, exactly. And we did that with a book called MFKZ coming out.
I remember.
Put all the hardcovers together. Even the logo is broken up along all 5. So it's kind of the new thing that we're working on. But man, it's tricky to get right.
Yeah, I don't think people realize, because I used to custom bind my own books and send them to a printer. And
oh my goodness.
It was so tricky. Yeah, so you have 20 single issues. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do Teen Titans volumes 4 through 7. I'm gonna have a picture going across there. That, you're right, it is difficult because the printer doesn't know how thick it's going to be until it's actually printed. Then they would get back to me and give me the dimensions of the actual spine, and I would be like, oh my gosh, I cannot mess this up. Yeah, it was just me, right?
And every printer that we work with, and we work some really good printers, they'll tell you there's a 1 to 3 millimeter variation just in, if you run 1,000 books over time, that 1,000 books could stray just 1 millimeter, and 1 millimeter will make a huge difference in how these things line up. Like, man, all of these comic companies like Oni and whoever who does these, connecting covers of, even floppy comics where they're printing, 15,000 or more, 30. Man.
Well, I think Marvel decides where it has like the number on the Marvel books.
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like, oof, this could shift a little.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about that because even Marvel and DC have had issues. Like Avengers by Jonathan Hickman. The new printing, if you got the direct, I think it's the direct market cover, the A does not line up. Like the A on volume 1 is higher than the last part of the A on volume 2, and it's like, ooh, that's an eyesore. And I know it bothers people because I know it bothers me when things like that happen. So it's very tricky, and almost taking a gamble with like, oh man, it has to align. No, that's very cool. I like that though, because it also makes people want to keep getting the volumes right. You can't just have half the picture, half the
half of the face. Yeah,
that's just ridiculous. Who does that?
Yep.
So, and when this book is fully funded after the 21 days, when can people start? Like, I know I asked this, but it's always up in the air with printers and stuff. But since it's already come out or coming out fairly soon, at least in France, when can people start expecting the physical copies to be sent out?
We're expecting to fulfill this thing in February, probably.
Okay.
I mean, we'll get ours. The book is done. You might have gotten a PDF for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, the book is done. We haven't sent it to the printer yet, just because we want to find out what our minimum print run is going to be, and if there's any extras that go into the book as stretch goals, we're holding out for the campaign for that.
Mhm.
But assuming we get the book to the printer, in mid-September, we should have it hopefully in early January, so that the warehouse will have time to fill it by February. That's our goal.
When you all do Kickstarters with a new book, you also give people the ability to kind of play catch up with books they might have missed.
Sure.
I know that you've done it in the past, and you do them as add-ons here. And you're doing. I'm looking at the bottom. It looks like
you're
doing add-ons, right?
Yeah. I mean, especially if it's a book by somebody that we previously published.
Mm-hmm.
We try to. I mean, we don't just pick backlists at random to throw into a campaign. It's like, look, if you like this book by Matthew Babelais, you might like these 4.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
We did a much smaller campaign for Tony Sandoval, which we had never done any Tony Sandoval Kickstarters. It was actually on BackerKit, I think. But we've published like 7 of his books so far. So I mean, it's just a good opportunity to introduce the artist and all of their work. Even if you have one title that's the showcase, the headliner of the campaign, if people like it, or if they're interested in that, they may want to see all the other books.
Question from Matt in the chat. Do we have any plans on doing any signed versions of anything? That includes stretch goals, probably. Is that anything on the table, Mike? Because I know sometimes we do our book plates.
Yeah. Yeah. For SHIN ZERO, I did talk to Matthew and Guillaume about that, and they were honest in that they're just too focused and too busy on getting the second volume finished. And so we're not going to do anything for the first volume. We may do something for the second volume. If they actually get around to it and finish the third volume, then we'll definitely do one for the third volume. Same thing with sketches. I asked them if they'd be open to doing sketches, and they're just, God bless them. I give them all the credit. They're working on the project, and I don't want to distract them from, hitting those deadlines. The book is more important as far as.
Oh yeah, and there's always the chance when they're kind of done with their series that maybe there's a board that's signed when it's all done and put together eventually.
Yeah, totally. Yep.
To celebrate it being done, of course, right?
Yeah. Hopefully, we got a lot of ideas. I have no idea what the story of book 2 is or what they have planned for book 3, but if we get to that point, I mean, granted, it might take 2 or 3 years to get there, but if we get to that point, we've got a lot of ideas.
How are Matthew and I'm so sorry, Guillaume?
Guillaume?
Yeah. How did you pronounce it again?
Guillaume.
I've been a big fan of Guillaume's art since PTSD. I love that book.
Yep.
It's got that. That's why these two working together, I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
How are they working together exactly? Do you all know? Like, it's writing, drawing, inking, like how?
They come up with. I mean, Matthew comes up with most of the story like events, but then they work on the events together to figure out like how should these things unfold in a way that just feels entertaining and natural.
Mm-hmm.
But Matthew does most of the writing on his own. I mean, Matthew's a master at like world building. I mean, between Carbon and Silicon, which spans 300, 500 years, Shangri-La, which technically spans 1,000 years, and then actually, I just got an advance PDF of Matthew's next book, which will be kickstarting next year. I'm not going to spoil too much about it, but.
Does that guy ever sleep? Like, seriously?
Yeah.
For the type of art, like I know I'm kind of hyping it up, but I really like both of these creators. Everything they've done is just beautiful and detailed. Yeah. How in the hell does he do more than? How? That's
what I think. When he says he can't sign book plates,
right? That's how.
It's like, well, obviously you're not. You're not just. I can't sign book plates because I'm too busy playing video games. It's like, no, he's working.
No, he's working.
Yeah.
Because every year it seems like Matthew's got a new project. So when I saw this, I saw the little, and actually Mitch shared it with me. I saw the little panel, and I was like, I bet Matthew's involved in that somehow. Because
I'm sure that there are probably certain panels, certain sequences where Matthew maybe rough things out for Guillaume to finish up, but yeah.
No, the art is killer in here. I can't wait to see this actually printed, because there's a difference, like in the digital, and there's nothing wrong with digital.
Yeah.
And then when it's actually on paper with the colors, and I love the idea, and I assume it was their decision, right, to just have the Sentai be the ones with color on the pages instead of world and backgrounds. I think that's really cool. I like that.
I have a question for Mike, because I didn't ask yet. But what kind of paper is this being printed on, considering that the coloring is the way it is, and they're like spot color kind of? Is it like a textured paper? Is it something different, or is
I think we'll go for a wood-free paper on this.
Okay.
They want it to feel really toothy and
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same. We use the same stock on MFKZ, because I guess guys at Label 609 really want this stuff to feel, I don't know, for lack of a better term, arty,
like earthy.
Just like, toothy and like to feel as much like it was actually drawn on the page. Like if they do sketches on the inside cover, it'll have the same feeling as the rest of the book.
Does that happen, like when you all are working on a book and it has already been printed in France? Do the creators come up and talk to you all about like what kind of paper stock it needs to be on? We need to do it similar to the way we had it printed over here.
No, not usually. It's left in our hands, and we'll change the design. Sometimes we'll get variant covers, and usually it's just left in our hands. But with Label 609, since I'm such a fan of them and I've known them for so long, and I'm not sure if you're aware that we've got kind of this first look partnership with them.
I kind of figured, but I didn't know if it was a sure thing or not.
Yeah, no, it's official now. I mean, we were kind of their favorite leading up until now, but like in Angola, not this past January, but the year before that, we started really talking about like, look, let's just make Magnetic your English language home, and they were all for it, and they loved everything we do for the campaign. They're really excited about this campaign, the statue and the statues we did for Frontier. They're like thrilled. They're run Guillaume Renard. He's the guy who started 619. He's the guy who created MFKZ.
Yeah.
He was like, man, the SHIN ZERO statue looks great. I wish we had done something like that for MFK. And I'm like, well, we'll do. Maybe we can talk about it for MFK too.
Oh, is he wanting to do another one?
So he is working on a sequel to MFKZ. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There have already been a bunch of spin-offs, and we may release some of the spin-offs beforehand. Actually, there's a spin-off called Loba Loca, which follows the White Tiger character from MFKZ, which I'm sure nobody knows about unless you read the French book. But one of the Mexican wrestlers, White Tiger, there's a spin-off one-shot that's just focusing on him, but it's also drawn by Guillaume Saint-Jean.
Oh, okay. And that has not been translated into English.
Not published.
Not the spin-off. Okay, no. Gotcha. I was curious if, publishers or maybe the creators ever got involved with like the way things. But it's really cool that they're flattering you all on the kind of campaign you're running for their books. That says a lot about your partnerships. And honestly, I thought you guys did have an exclusive deal with them. Like,
we've done so many.
Because exactly. I just thought it was kind of understood.
Well, I know that they had, I'm not going to drop any names or anything, but I know that they had some handshake agreements with some other publishers, but those just never really panned out. Whereas everything Magnetic picked up, not only did it come out, but came out great, and the volumes are praised around the world. I mean, we get so many backers and customers, from France. They already read this thing in French,
and they want the
extra goodies. Yeah.
Now that says a lot about the way that you all do these kind of campaigns, and
yeah,
I do love the fact that you are making it available for retailers too, so people don't miss out on it in case.
Yeah,
they can't do a Kickstarter, right? But it's only the softcover trade paperback, right? Will it have a different cover for the retailer, or it'll be the same?
I don't think so. I mean, right now I think it'll be the same cover. I mean, that's something that we may talk about, but since we already showed the same cover on the Kickstarter, I figure rather than a bait and switch, we'll probably just stick to the same cover.
Okay. I was curious because I think when Boom did their stuff, they had different covers, and I don't know. There was a whole goof up on their Power Rangers Kickstarter. That
oh no,
yeah, we had a cover.
There was the goof up with the variant covers, I guess.
It was something that was supposed to be exclusive. There was a lot of miscommunication because I think they were late. You know how I'm talking to you all? Like if I had been talking to them, it would have been the third party company I would have been talking to. Right. And I think that's where the problem is when you do have a third party company that doesn't really know much about comics other than shipping. Like, they ship things rather well.
Well,
they can answer questions the way you all are.
Well, Mike and I are former boomers, so we have no comment.
Very briefly. Very briefly.
Very briefly.
I think I was there for 3 months before when they picked up Archaea.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, Archaea.
Omar, I'll tell you a story about Magnetic Press's beginnings. So
sure.
I went to go see Mike about my book that I did with Archaea and what was going to happen now that they got absorbed. And Mike says, "Come meet me downstairs in the deli on the bottom of the building. I'm working on something else." And it was Sequential Ink, which is the beginnings of kind of your Magnetic Press stuff. That's what you were talking to me about. So I remember sitting down there with you.
I like that name too, though.
Yeah, it is a good name. It's really good. And I think Mike is working on stuff that pertains to that too, just for fun, because it's his personal thing right now. But I remember the sandwich and the cellophane wrap that I bought down there when he was telling me what he wanted to do. So it's a long time ago, Mike, but I remember the sandwich.
Yeah.
That's a good story because you went in full detail with the type of sandwich you had.
It's like when you get in a car accident, you remember the song that was on.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's how Chris remembers everything. It's always what sandwich was involved. Chris has a thing for sandwiches.
That's a very unique trait. I don't know how handy that will come in trivia night, but it helps you remember things. I think that's very important. After this is done, because this has 21 days, what other I don't know if what's been announced or not from you all. What kind of things do you have on the docket for Magnetic Press?
I don't think anything's really been announced. I mean, we did, we've solicited, so I don't think there's.
Well, that's what I meant.
When you're all solicitations, but
now those solicitations are for retailers.
Yes, that's these are the titles that'll be coming out through Simon & Schuster and Lunar.
So, what titles do you guys have lined up for?
So we've got.
Of course, I'm putting you on the spot. I don't know if you have that in front of you or not.
Where's the list?
Right. So there's the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde book that we kickstarted. That'll be coming to retail.
Mm-hmm.
Then MFKZ, which is 5 volumes, and they'll be coming out 1 volume per month. So that'll be a nice 5-month event.
Nice. Okay.
Ogrist, it was one of those other campaigns that I mentioned. It's a paperback series. I mean, it's kind of manga-ish. It's black and white, but it reads front to back, and it's a French creator. So we just published it at 6x9, and it's great. I mean, if you haven't seen any of those photos, I'll send you PDFs. I mean, Ogrist is a fantastic book. It's based.
If you like tragedies, then Ogrist.
I'm a huge fan of that.
Well, most of the world is, right, because it's either a comedy.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Well, the overall arc may be tragic, but it's not tragic page to page. It's not like depressing to read. It's fun.
No, it's
it's full of adventure. It's basically it's a prequel to there's a role playing game or a online MMO called Whack Fu that Ankama published. It's huge in Europe, and it is available here in the States, but they've not really marketed it too much here in the States. But this is in the game. There's kind of the big boss monster is this creature called Ogress, who's just, he's almost all powerful, but he's driven by just this despair of like losing his love. And this is the story of how he was created and how he grew up, and you see why he's so despondent, because kind of like Frankenstein, it's like, he may be the monster, but holy crap, you feel for him. You understand why he's so heartbroken and why he is so angry.
I like the sorry, I had to look it up.
Yeah.
Your pitch sold me on it.
It's good.
I like the design of what you all did with this. This is what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And it does have a manga look to it.
Yeah, the artist Mig he was also in the Tezukomi collection. Yeah. He did the Unigo story. He's fantastic. I mean, not only is his
it's like up my alley.
Yeah, he's like a Jeff Smith, but super detailed.
This is the one that's coming out in retailers. The Kickstarter was last year, I assume.
Yeah, no, actually, it was just earlier this spring. But that'll also be a 5-volume series, and they'll be coming out monthly starting this fall.
Wow, that looks absolutely beautiful. I like the design of the books themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, they're great. And then we've got another black and white 3-volume. Again, not manga. But it's black and white, 6x9, Banana Sewell, and it's the same artist who drew. Do you know the series Last Man by Bastien Vives?
That sounds familiar. Last Man. Who's the creator?
Bastien Vives was the writer, and then Michael Sanlaville, who's the writer and artist of Banana Sewell. He was the artist.
It was the one through Image, right?
Yeah, I mean, Robert Kirkman was a huge fan of this. If you have not read it,
yeah, I know what it is. Yeah, I've read the first one.
Definitely, it is so fantastic. And they did I think they did 2 series, but I know they definitely did one 20-episode animated series, and even that was fantastic. It's and so that designer Michael Sanlaville, he created this series Banana Sewell, which is also pretty cool. It's a little more all ages, but it's no less detailed. It's beautiful.
Mike, why are we on such a kick of zipatone and halftone dots? Everything we're doing has halftone. I love it because I'm a huge fan of halftone dots.
It does seem like we've done more black and white books in the last 12 months, but I think that's just because there are so many good black and white books in France that I think a lot of people who look at these books, a lot of American publishers who look at them probably think, oh, but it's not in color, it won't sell here. But screw that, it's a beautiful book. I mean, if it's a beautiful book, like the Dracula and Frankenstein books are amazing, and
those books are beautiful.
Yeah, and I mean,
actually, I was recording a video on the Magnetic Press books that you all have done recently. And those, oh my gosh, those are, I don't know what my favorite one is. Every one of these editions that you all do, there's just something special about them and unique, and it definitely makes them stand out on your shelf. I think I've said this to you all before. I know I've had you all on the show a few times, but you guys set the bar for that top quality book that people want, as a collector and a reader. And I really wish more people would follow through with that, because each one, even though it kind of has the same format, you all find different ways to make the slipcase different, to make the outside stand out, and each one look different. I like that. They're beautiful.
Actually, it's gotten to the point where when I'm looking at books to acquire over there, and besides meeting the author and reading the book and making sure it's really a cool book in and of itself, immediate second thought is, what can we do with it? Like, what kind of cool treatment can we give it? So
yeah, it's the whole every frame of painting, right? Like every thing that we put out has its own identity, and you really want to, it's like user experience, right? Like it's when you pick it up, you want to feel like you're part of that world. So having the product designed that way it's super important to us. Even when I get them in the mail after all is said and done, and I get like a comp copy or something, I'm just always feel like, oh wow, now I'm like in Dracula, because there's a coffin on the cover, right? It's so small, but I mean, it's not small because he won an Eisner, so just saying.
Yeah.
What's been the most successful magnetic press Kickstarter that you all have done?
Kickstarter was definitely Monkey King. It was like 200 something.
Right.
Really? Wow. That is a beautiful book. I don't have the Kickstarter version. I have the regular edition, which is still beautiful.
Yeah.
But,
and that was a case where we did a trade paperback for retail, but Kickstarter is like, of course, we got to have hardcovers and we got to have a slipcover, and it's like I'm happy when somebody picks up the trade paperback just because the content is I mean, the content is the heart of it, and I want the author to get respect for the cool story that they created, but upgrade to that cool slipcase with with the hardcover treatments, and that to me is okay, that's something that we can take pride in.
Right.
They take pride in the interiors.
That belongs to us.
Yeah.
At what point do you all decide to do like these kinds of like limited editions and slipcases? Do you ever look back at the back catalog that you all have made and like books that are out of print and been like, hey, we could bring that back in a new type of way?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I mean, speaking of Monkey King, the hardcover and the slipcase, they sold out. I mean, I think we even printed like 1,500 slipcases.
That's
huge numbers.
People are always asking comments about Monkey King. It's like people love it.
Yeah. So, and I mean, the only version that's out right now is that 6x9 paperback omnibus, which, 350 something pages. Still, it's meaty. It's a great book. But, we are constantly getting questions about, are you ever going to reprint the hardcovers? So that may come back. Yeah. I mean, we may do that in a new volume.
Thank you, Pete, for ordering the slipcase edition.
Yeah. They put out some wonderful books. And how many projects do you all try to do? Like, I know you get excited about things like Mike when he travels and sees the work that people are putting out. Like, I know you got to be excited to be like, oh my gosh, we can do that, and we can do a very special edition of that. How do you restrain yourself from like going crazy and doing like 12 projects?
There's some money and time.
Oh yeah, money. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of years, especially as we were, totally independent, we probably put out, 20 titles a year, and that's just titles, and there'll be like maybe 2 or 3 volumes in a slipcase. So the last couple of years have been pretty sleepless. And I think, now I think we're at that point where it's like, sometimes these things, you want them to bake properly. So
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely plenty to do. Like, we've got enough to keep us busy for the next 2 years just on our current plate. But I know in the next 12 months, there'll be another 20 products that I want to do. So it really is. It's a tough curation, but I think at this point, it's a matter of really starting to filter out what do we do next. I think we really do sci-fi really well. I think, sci-fi pop culture stuff, does really well. Frontier, Carbon Silicon, Shin Zero. We used to do some children's books and some middle grade, which I love those books. I'm a fan of those creators, but maybe that's not where our bread and butter is.
So you finally found your calling, your true audience. I don't only want to spend money on hardcovers. I want to spend more money on slipcase and limit. You throw the word limited out there, that just piques a lot of people's interest. Wait, this is only sold where now?
Well, one of our next ones, and hey, maybe this is a big announcement here, but one of our next campaigns, not the next one, but soon in the next couple of months, we're going to do another 619 title called Freak Squeal. I don't know if you've heard of that one. It's actually been out for a while, but there are like 744 page volumes. So we're going to do those.
Whoa, how many volumes?
Yeah, 7 volumes, 144 pages. So I don't know, add that up. But we'll be doing all 7 hardcovers that'll come out monthly, and a box set that's available only on the Kickstarter. So
that artwork is gorgeous.
Florent Muldoux, he is fantastic, and that's another one like MFKZ. There's all kinds of spin-offs. So I mean, if it does well, there's tons of stuff to put out. There's another series called Funerals that's really cool.
I just went down the rabbit hole of just the
covers. That's to answer your question. How do I find all this stuff? It's honestly getting access to everything that 619 has. Is that just opened up a vault?
This is it's a French comic?
Yep. Yeah. All 619 stuff is French, but
I didn't know if they got like people from like Germany or like Spain to come over.
I mean, some they do. I mean, I think Guillaume is half Japanese, and Florent, I think, is half Japanese. I mean, that's why I think you see a lot of manga. In fact, they were just showing off Shin Zero at Anime Fest in Tokyo, I think last month or 2 months.
Oh, really?
Ago. Yeah. So I mean, they are solid worldwide. I'm now taking it upon myself to make them equally popular here in the States. It's a lot more crowded here, but they deserve it.
It is, but you guys seem to have found a fan base. This is the link for the Shin Zero, by the way, and I also put it in the description on the video for people watching later. Awesome. You guys seem to have found a fan following too, right? I'm sure that you both have noticed, like, oh, that name looks familiar, or this is being shipped out to that same person that ordered the last 5 Kickstarters. And Magnetic Press is like their go-to. Like, no matter what you guys put out, they know that you all are not just releasing everything, right? Like, you're not just dumping everything, and everything is special, and it is for a reason.
Yeah. We part of our Kickstarters is, excuse me, on our web store, we have what we call ambassador points, and you earn points for every $1 spent.
Is that where the coin comes from? I remember I used to get.
Yeah, I mean, we want to make some exclusives like that. I mean, it's usually use the points for gift cards and discounts, but we also award them for Kickstarter. So you spend $100 on Kickstarter, you probably get 1,000 points. Right. We've got some backers with like 15,000 ambassador points that they haven't used yet. And it's probably because they already own everything from Kickstarter. But
one of our big things this year, and especially towards the end of the year, is just pushing out and getting more eyes on these projects. So we're going to be doing more events. We're going to be doing more things like this. We're going to be putting more videos out. Part of that. So I'm really excited to get all this stuff that's really good that we've been working on, like with our set audience, out in front of the masses. Right? Because there's definitely a very large pool of people who don't know how good this stuff is that would love to have it and would love to be part of that community. So thank you for having us on here, because
you guys put out quality books. You put out amazing stories. A lot of them have been featured in my Hidden Gems, which is one of my favorite segments where I talk about books that people don't know about. Like, I know Matthew's work has at least 4 of his books from Magnetic Press have made it on that list, and then I've done overviews of the beautiful books that you all put out. I've always been a fan because like I like books that stand out, and even the normal. I've told you all this. The normal retail copies that you all used to do of the hardcovers with the round edges, I was like, oh, that's such a small little thing you changed, and I'm like, it's a magnetic press book. And
well, it's like our paperbacks. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, we've been doing some more paperbacks lately, like
we have,
you know, carbon and silicon and SHIN ZERO, or not SHIN ZERO, Shangri-La. You know, it's like the hardcovers have been sold out, but we publish them in softcover still with like thick 350 milligram or 350 GSM cardstock covers, but they all have those curved covers. And actually on paperback, it's nice because the block is trimmed to the cover, so I mean, it kind of looks like a, you know, like a sketchbook. I mean, our paperbacks, just because we wanted to do something in paperback, we still wanted it to be elevated quality. So we don't just do the, you know, 50-pound paper. And
yeah, what is the touch when you touch? Like when I first got the black box trade, it felt, the material of the cover felt nice. It didn't feel, I don't know, something about it.
I mean, that was probably
biased.
It might have been non-scuff lamination, matte lamination, but then we also used the blue foil printing.
The Lost Letters trade paperback, I have that as a trade paperback, and that one feels really nice too. There's just something, they feel really thick in a way that like a Marvel trade paperback doesn't. Like there's something about the way it's bound or how it's like thickness of it. It just feels really substantial when you get one of Magnetic's trade paperbacks. They don't.
These are the new trades.
Yeah, they don't feel lesser than the hardcover. They feel really substantial. So
I haven't had the chance to look at any of the trades. I will say that you're right. A lot of it has to do with the way it's bound. A lot of it has to do with the way, like, you think about paper stock. And sometimes, you know, publishers, when you are putting out a lot of things, you don't have the time to focus on like, oh, what kind of paper stock should we use on that Silver Age book or that Bronze Age book? Yeah. Should we use glossy paper stock? What's the what weight should we use? Like, and then I think the benefit of doing or having you all do something like this is you can put your personal touch on each and every single book and make sure that it gets the right paper stock for the type of artwork that they're using.
Well, I mean, I think there's a couple different ways of publishers thinking about these books, and again, I'm not going to point any fingers and name any names, but I mean, some people they will publish a trade paperback with the cheapest materials so that they can lower the price point as far as they can, so they can sell as many as they can. And sure, I guess there's a business way of thinking about that, but those are also the trade paperbacks that are going to, you know, be thought of as disposable. I mean, we want even our paperbacks to always be an artifact, something that you want to hold on to, something that you want to show off. I mean, if it costs us 14 cents more to use a thicker paper or a better binding, or, you know, it's worth it. 14 cents per copy. I mean, I don't know. There's a certain quality that you can't put a price tag on. And I think, unfortunately, it seems like a lot of places going to drop below that line, but that's not something that we're interested in doing.
How many books you mentioned what is coming out later this year, and I think I stopped you. Those books that you were mentioning that were coming out later this year, those are the retail versions, so they're going to be paperback versions of some of the stuff that has been kicked. Oh, I stopped you because you mentioned Ogress, and I was like,
oh yeah,
wait, stop talking for a second. I need to look this up because it had you piqued my interest.
It's good.
So yeah, out of that, all those are being distributed to retailers through Simon & Schuster. Is that right?
In the bookstores through Simon, yes. And then they'll be available through Lunar and, well, right now, let's just say Lunar. I don't know who knows what's going on with Diamond, but yeah.
And how many books are you having for this next round then?
The rest of this year, it looks like one. In retail, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for this year.
Oh, wow.
That's just between September and December.
This year, we just happen to have a lot of stuff going on towards the end of the year. Like every category, in Kickstarters, in Backer Kit, and what we're releasing. and now events and stuff that we're doing, this type of stuff. Like it's all kind of, it's at the end of this year, just scheduling.
Yeah, I mean, some of these titles were supposed to come out in the summer, but just the uncertainty of what's happening with Diamond and not being ready to get into Simon, we decided to hold on to some of those books. So when they come out, they get the proper attention.
Okay.
And, yeah, next year should be fun. I mean, next year from January on, we should be hitting at a very regular monthly pace.
That's awesome. I love hearing that.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fan too, like selfishly.
Kill confirmed. Thank you for being such a cheerleader. In the comments, we appreciate.
Yeah,
it.
totally. He's the gentleman from Brazil, right?
I believe so.
Nice.
It's interesting to hear what regions get what when something is licensed, because he was talking about, they didn't get the poster, but they got the cards that came out with the original, and we have a lot of stretch goals to go, so we'll see what happens over here. So,
you guys have some stretch goals. Tell me about the stretch goals, about this trading cards.
I mean, we've unlocked a couple so far. Yeah,
all right.
I mean, we're doing something new this time around. It's like we've done stickers and we've done cards before, but this time I don't know. It's just something about the multicolored Sentai uniform motif. Holographic just seemed to make sense. So there'll be holographic stickers, and then we're looking at the holographic cards as a stretch goal. So hopefully we hit that number, and we've got some cool stuff lined up after that.
Oh, okay. So it looks, you're. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize you had already hit the goals.
Yeah.
First 3.
Congratulations. I was looking at it wrong. I'm like, oh, maybe they'll erase that when it's...
Omar, this is Magnetic Press.
My bad.
If we don't hit our goal on the first day, then something's wrong.
Okay. So the next stretch goal is the holo cards, and then there's more to be revealed.
Yeah, I mean, we like to, we can be one of those companies that reveal everything in the beginning, but we found in the past that something will either do way better than we expected would, and then, we'd have nothing left to reveal, or, the other way around where it doesn't do as well as we thought, and then we, disappoint a lot of people. So we try to schedule these things.
Sorry.
We try to schedule them out to, to be every 2 or 3 days, hopefully 4 days.
Yeah.
As long as they make sense.
Oh man, that's cool. Especially with that Sentai and Power Ranger type of thing too. There's all kinds of things that you all could do, man.
Yeah, especially with Guillaume's artwork. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you said that they hope to do a total of 3 volumes. Is that correct?
For this, yeah, it's intended as a trilogy, but they're creating them to be standalone. But
man, there's 5. You could push them to 5. You could have different colors for each of the books.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past them.
Just looking at it. Yeah, I'm not telling them to break their soul to make sure that they have 5 books out, but
I mean the way that
visually that would be pretty cool.
I mean they are very used to spin-offs. I mean MFK has had, good lord, 5 or 6 different spin-offs, and Freaks Wheel is
MFKZ is a franchise thing, and I didn't realize that going into it, at all.
I think they're looking at, if SHIN ZERO does well enough over there, then it'll be a franchise. There will be spinoffs. I don't think they'll stop with 3 if it does really well, but we got to get there first.
It would be funny if I'm just projecting as a writer creator, but it would be really funny if the sequel is they actually get day jobs doing this and they have to adapt to 9 to 5 Sentai work, and they've been gig workers for the whole first volume. Yeah. I think that would be hilarious. And at the end, they just become contract workers.
Right.
3rd volume.
Have you? I know we got to start wrapping up, but when this process is happening, as you're interested in a particular book, who does the script reading? Who's kind of the first person, the first wave out there to check out what?
That's a good question, because Mike, as far as I know, does not read French fluently, correct? So when you see
not
a book,
fluently, no, but
yeah,
I can.
How does the process work?
It's it's pretty much it's. I mean, we're not big. We're only a couple of folks, so
Right.
I do most of the curation, and that's really just a matter of I will go to Angoulême every January, and just kind of browse and talk to different publishers and meet different creators, and if something catches my eye, then I'll bring home a copy, or I'll get a PDF sent from that publisher, and I'll in my good time I will read it with my broken French, and if the story holds up, which 9 times out of 10 it does, then that's something worth putting an offer in on.
Okay, so you do read it with some broken French.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it may take me 4 times longer to read the book, but
I mean, I used to, I love manga. I have ever since I was a young kid, and we didn't have a lot of it here in America, especially in the late 80s, early 90s. So I remember there was a lady that would set up at a flea market, and she would always have manga. I couldn't read any of it.
Yeah.
But by God, I could look at all those pictures and try to figure out what was going on. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Well, that's like most of the anime. Yeah.
Probably should not have sold a 12-year-old kid, but I wasn't going to rat her out.
Yeah, there were so many anime series and movies that I would watch where I got no idea what they're saying, but I think I know what's happening.
Yeah, there was a time when anime was also really rare here, and it was like it would come untranslated, and it would be like a 7th generation copy of a copy of a copy, right. And that was the way we watched it. And you better set that VCR tracking, perfect, like at the perfect spot, so you could kind of make out what's happening on the screen.
Yeah, but I think you might be hitting something on the head, though. What caught our attention, not knowing the language of the story, is does it look cool?
Yeah,
and it's like, and that's the thing that's the first thing that grabs my eye, which is not to discount any of the writers, but it does put a little bit more on the appeal part to the artists and the art style and the style of the story and the designs and all that. So, people ask, like, what is Magnetic's aesthetic, or what is what's our criteria for acquisition? And I don't know if you can really nail it down. Like, if I get hit by a bus, somebody else is going to steer Magnetic in a completely different direction. Because, I mean, these books I tell people that Magnetic's books are chosen on whether or not I like them. And the thing is, relying on one person's taste, that can go either way. That can go, positive or negative. But I think the one thing that these books do share in common is there's something visually that stands apart from everything else. And we just make sure that the story is equally intriguing.
I like that. Visually stands out. And they do. Yeah. Even in the way that the books are made.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, as we wrap up, what has been your favorite book that you've been a part of at Magnetic Press?
Oh, man.
You can only pick one. And you're like, this is the best thing I did. No, that's a tough one, huh?
I don't know if I can say, just because there's, all these authors and artists. I can't.
You should just say the one that hasn't come out yet.
How about this? How about Omar? How about this? This will solve it. Okay, ready? This will break this. If I say what I think Mike's is, and Mike says what he thinks mine is.
No, I don't know.
I understand.
I would neither confirm nor deny any of your guesses.
No. I think personally, if we're gonna pick one, it's gonna end up being some heady science fiction, social relevant thing.
I've got my personal tastes. Like I just naturally gravitate towards robot and human evolution type of stories. So naturally, that's why I really fell in love with all of Matthew Bablay's stuff. I mean,
cyberpunk. Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you're reframing your question, if I had created any of these books, which one of these books do I wish that I had created?
Sure, let's do that.
I would probably say Carbon and Silicon, just because there's so many themes in that, and just
good book.
Yeah, things that I have just loved for decades.
For me, the one that I wish that I created, I mean, I wish I was Mary Shelley. That's it. I wish I was her. Like, that's the answer. Like, Frankenstein is so, I get like emotional just thinking about it, because Frankenstein is such, it just hits you like a wall. Like, you know, when you really start to think about the philosophy and what she's saying, and specifically that edition that we did, as I was lettering it, I'm so sorry to Bram, but as I was working on it, I kept saying to myself, this is so much better than Dracula. Like, it has so much more to say about the human condition. Yeah. And that's personally why I read books, is to explore the human condition. It's why I have conversations with people, and why my friend circle is the circle that it is because I like to explore what it means to be human, and all the bad and all the good that comes with it. And there's a lot of bad. And Frankenstein, she nailed it. So that's my answer.
Wow, you went with Mary Shelley.
Yeah.
Didn't see that one coming.
No messing around. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. It's a good answer. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today and taking us on a tour of a little behind the scenes of SHIN ZERO. 21 days left on the Kickstarter that is currently happening with some, here we go, there is the link, and there's still stretch goals happening. They're not going to reveal everything yet.
Even beyond the stretch goals, you know, there's a couple of really cool add-ons, like the 3D statue and the book and stuff. I mean, things that will only be available on the Kickstarter. So,
yeah. And you can also find the other magnetic press books and add them as add-ons here too, in case you missed any of them. And there's some amazing books in there in case you have missed any of them, because they put out wonderful books. Thank you both, and thank you, Mitch, for putting it all together. But that's it, everybody. Go and check out the Kickstarter. Show them some love, and make sure you go and check out, if you're not doing the Kickstarter, the magnetic press books that they are putting out at retailers from September to December. So everyone stay healthy and safe. We are out of here.